You ever feel like saving money just isn't enough anymore? You know, you've probably heard you should be investing, but no one tells you why or how. You know, we really never learn that. So I wanted to take this video to break down why starting to invest, even just a little bit, changed everything for me personally. You know, part one, investing can feel intimidating. You always can there's always a chance to lose money, especially with the market. It has its good times, it has its bad times. But at the end of the day, if you do invest, always remember, even if the stock market's down for a week, for a month, for a couple months, you don't lose money until you sell. So always keep that in mind. Always keep that little piece of advice, to kind of combat that fear of losing money. And schools really didn't teach how to invest. So it's a little bit normal to, or I should say, it's completely normal to have that fear. But like I said, just do your research, do your due diligence, um, and just kind of just in look into it. I say don't be afraid to dabble a little bit. I'm not saying take all your money out of your bank account and throw it into the stock market, but just start to play around with a little bit. Start getting comfortable with a couple dollars a week or $20 a month or whatever the case may be. Whatever you're comfortable with investing, and then ultimately people think you need a lot of money to start, but kind of like I just said, you can start with $1 a day, $1 a week, $1 a month, what really whatever you want. Honestly, like there's really no set value that you need to put in to see some form of returns. So like I said, just get comfortable with the process first, and then as you get a little more acclimated, as you start to inform yourself, educate yourself a little more on what investing consists of, you're golden. You really just start kind of going from there. So that's pretty much what this video is going to be about tonight. I already made a video kind of how to start saving, so we're going to start to let our money work for us a little bit, and that's ultimately why I'm making this video. So what really helped me start, some of the small steps that really got me going, I'd say was, I think I started my investing journey back in college. I think either my junior or senior year. I was actually in a special program in college my last year, and I met some amazing fellow students, and still good friends with some of them today. I ultimately learned from one of them like what the process of investing entailed. Like he just kind of explained to me like all the different types of investment accounts, and I plan on making videos for these topics, so I'm not going to go into super detail in this video. But just kind of explain to me what a Roth IRA is, what a normal brokerage account is, what a 401k is, like all the tax benefits. So like I said, I'm not gonna confuse you, or I'm not going to super detail in this video, but I just kind of wanted to give you the background of where I initially started. And after that, just kind of seeing the potential of investing, and hearing the famous quote from Albert Einstein. He famously stated that compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. And I've been told that many times before, and I never really grasped the idea of it. But really, as I've started to invest and continue to expand my knowledge in the investment realm, I've definitely really appreciated that quote. And as you start to get involved in the game, or you start playing around with like investment calculators online, I'll probably drop a picture throughout this video of his famous quote, and then an investment calculator you can look online. It really is insane what 20, 30, 40 years into the future will do if you continually to invest, what that compounding of or what the compound interest of your invested money what will do. So keep that in mind. Like I said, I started using apps, or I should say platforms with low minimums. I'm a little biased. I'm a big fan of Fidelity. Especially when I invest in usually index funds. I usually don't do single stocks, just for overall like reduce of like volatility of the single stocks. I usually just buy the index, which is just a huge collection of stocks. Usually, like the includes like the S&P 500, like the top 500 stocks in America. And I don't really do this. You can automate some small investments from each paycheck to keep yourself. I'd say keep yourself accountable. I am pretty strict with myself. I have reminders on my calendars every week set for Sunday. I think Saturday or Sunday. Just telling myself to invest X amount of money every week. You can set up automation. That's perfectly fine. Some people really recommend that, where you can set up where, hey, every week or every payday, whatever it is for your job, whether it's weekly, bi-weekly, you can have it draw directly from your bank account, 10, 20, 50, $100, whatever the set amount is. You can have that automated, so you don't have to worry about it. Every week it's going to take the money. I'm sure you can set up a way to automatically pick the stock or the fund that you plan on investing it in. I'm not 100% there, so definitely do your research on there. Don't take my word for it. And ultimately, just keep it as easy as you can. Don't try to time the market. You'll always see online, you'll see some gurus where they're like, oh yeah, this is the time to buy, this time to buy, sell, kind of like how Jim Cramer says on Mad Money. Always used to kind of tune in on those when my dad would watch it after dinner. But ultimately, don't try to beat the market. You're really never going to. And especially as a newbie, you don't have the experience, you don't have the years to really even attempt it. So why bother trying? Just always do your dollar cost averaging, whether the stock market is completely plummeted and everybody's saying, oh, recession's coming, end of the world's coming, like a couple months ago, for example, or it's completely booming, like stocks are up like crazy. Just do your dollar cost average. If you set up your automation to invest $100 every week, continue to do the $100. As you get a little more comfortable in the investment world, and you start seeing, hey, the stock market's it's a bear market right now, which means stocks are down, or like based on their average, they're down, they're lower in price. Maybe the next couple weeks, instead of $100, put $200 in, because at that point, usually a bear market, look at that as a discount in stocks. Like all my fans of zombies, think of it as a fire sale. The stocks are a little cheaper, people are getting scared and selling it off. I do want to make this clear, I'm not a financial advisor, so always take my advice with a little bit of grain of salt. But like I said, do your research. At the end of the day, don't take my word for it 100%. Do your own research, get educated on it, and you'll see for yourself as you continue down your investing journey. I'd say part 3 for me, like a mind shift change from saving to growing. Like I said, there's always a fear of losing money, and like I said, if you buy in the stock market and the prices go down for a couple months, that's not the time to sell. It's not the time to get scared. It's normal. Like the market goes up, the market goes down, but I think ever since the market was really established, the stock market, I think the annual return, the annual interest rate of return is like 10.4%. I may be off by a couple points, but we can just round it to 9 to 10%. So ultimately, it's always going up. Unless we have a nuclear war, I don't see it ever really going down for years on end. But like I said, take my advice with a grain of salt. So ultimately, what I was getting at is, saving protects your money, investing grows it. So I always kind of live by this analogy. I've kind of seen this the other day, and I really thought of it. Saving is like storing water, but investing is like planting a seed. So yes, saving, you can keep your money in a bank and get, oh my gosh, probably like 0.000001% interest on your money in the bank, which, hey, it's there, it's guaranteed, especially in America. up to $250,000. If the banks ever crash or the market ever crashes, if you have less than $250,000 in your bank, you're guaranteed to get that money back. But at the end of the day, you can't live off $250,000 when it's time to retire. So feel free to keep some money liquid, so like you're able to take it out whenever you need an emergency, or like you need to dip into an emergency fund. But invest 10 to 15% of your income, or start to kind of dabble into investing, because like I said, kind of like how the analogy goes, investing is to grow your money instead of just protecting your money. And ultimately, what led me to this video is, the more I started to invest, the more hopeful I felt about my future. Obviously I could stick all my money in a bank account and, just save that money, but it won't grow nearly as much as if you were to invest it. And, ultimately in my future, like when I get to the point of retirement, I don't want to worry about having to work another job to pay my bills, or just ultimately worry about money. And I feel investing is one of the best strategies to get me there. So as the screen goes black here, I'm gonna try to wrap it up as quickly as possible, especially because there's no video else playing in the background. You don't have to be an expert. You just have to start, kind of like saving. Get your feet wet. Start doing some research on a investment account like Fidelity or Vanguard, or whatever your investment branch choice is, whatever you decide to go with. Like I said, I'm a little biased towards Fidelity because I've always been with them, and I really enjoy the user interface and just the ease of use there. And just start. Like I said, maybe not set up automation, but link your bank account up to it, and start dabbling. Start putting $10, $15, $20 in there, and look up, hey, what are the best stocks to get started? Most of the time they're going to recommend index funds, kind of like I mentioned earlier, where that's a group of stocks, so you're not just kind of solely relying on one stock's growth or one stock's overall potential in the market. And I kind of just explain that next reason for that. And so ultimately, my personal takeaway: I wish I started earlier, but I'm glad I started when I did. Obviously, if I was told to, hey, start putting, instead of buying those Pokemon cards, or instead of buying those League of Legends points, or whatever the case may be, when I was younger, hey, put $10, $15 away in a savings account or in an investment account, that I would have been even better off than I am now. But, obviously, hindsight 2020, you can't think about the past, just kind of look towards the future. So start now, and you definitely won't regret it. So wrapping up the video here, if this gave you a push to start, please let me know in the comments. I love to have some dialogue in the comments. What's holding you back from starting, or what helped you take the first step? Was it this video? Was it previous exposure to the idea of investing? And as always, if you want more videos on money, mindset, finances, and just overall life advice, life journeys, feel free, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I try to post twice a week, Monday mornings and Thursday mornings, usually when I drop the videos. As always, Lunch Table, thanks for tuning in, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye.